For decades, two titans have battled for the undisputed throne of hip-hop, Lil Wayne and Jay-Z. More than just rap legends, they are architects of empires, kings of their respective dynasties. What began as subtle lyrical jabs escalated into a full-blown war for supremacy, shaking the very foundations of the genre. Witness the raw power, the strategic dices, and the shocking moments that defined the ultimate clash of kings. This is the Dynasty War. From the streets of New Orleans, a lyrical prodigy emerged. Lil Wayne, the undisputed Young Money general, ascended rapidly, building an empire on unparalleled work ethic and a relentless flow. His mixtapes flooded the streets, his albums dominated the charts, and his influence became undeniable. He was the voice of a new generation, a raw, unfiltered force ready to challenge any established order. The throne, he felt, was ripe for the taking, and no king, however legendary, would stand in his way. Wayne's confidence bordered on audacious. He declared himself the best rapper alive, a bold statement that echoed across the industry. This wasn't just bravado, it was a challenge to every veteran, every legend who had come before him. He believed his prolific output, his unique style, and his undeniable impact on the culture set him apart. The stage was set for a confrontation, as such a declaration could not go unanswered by those who already wore the crown. The lyrical sparring began subtly. Wayne, known for his intricate wordplay and unpredictable punchlines, would often weave in veiled shots, testing the waters, asserting his presence. He saw himself as the future, a force that couldn't be contained by past glories. His rise was organic, street-certified, and he felt it gave him an edge, a raw authenticity that transcended corporate boardrooms. The tension was palpable, a quiet storm brewing beneath the surface. The auto-tune debate became a flashpoint. Wayne, a pioneer in popularizing the vocal effect, saw it as artistic evolution, a new tool for expression. When criticisms emerged, particularly from those who championed a more traditional rap style, he viewed it as an attack on his innovation, a dismissal of his impact. He stood firm, defending his artistic choices, ready to lyrically dismantle anyone who dared to question his methods or his reign. The gloves came off. Wayne's response to perceived slights was direct, unapologetic, and laced with his signature swagger. He wasn't afraid to go for the jugular, to challenge the very foundation of another's legacy. His words were sharp, precise, asserting his dominance and dismissing any notion of inferiority. The message was clear. He was here to stay, and the throne was his ultimate destination, regardless of who occupied it. From the Marcy projects, a blueprint was laid. Jay-Z, the self-made mogul, built an empire on shrewd business acumen, lyrical dexterity, and an unparalleled ability to adapt. His reign was defined by longevity, innovation, and a constant evolution that kept him at the pinnacle of hip-hop. He was the embodiment of the American dream, a street hustler turned global icon, a king who had earned his crown through relentless grind and strategic brilliance. Jay-Z's reign was characterized by an almost untouchable aura. He had conquered the charts, the boardrooms, and the critics. His position as a cultural titan seemed unassailable. Yet, the emergence of new, hungry challengers was an inevitable part of the game. He watched the rise of Lil Wayne with a discerning eye, acknowledging the talent but always ready to assert his own supreme authority, his undeniable claim to the throne. The lyrical chess match began. Jay-Z, a master of subtle disses and indirect jabs, often preferred to let his achievements speak for themselves. However, when his position was challenged, his response was always calculated, a strategic move designed to remind rivals of his enduring supremacy. He understood the art of the Cold War, allowing tension to build before delivering a decisive, impactful blow that resonated deeply within the culture. The death of auto-tune was more than just a song. It was a cultural statement, a declaration against what Jay-Z perceived as a dilution of rap's lyrical purity. While not explicitly naming Lil Wayne, the message was clear. True kings don't rely on vocal effects. They rely on raw skill. It was a challenge to a prevalent trend, a subtle yet powerful assertion of his traditionalist values and lyrical dominance. Jay-Z's response to direct challenges was always measured, yet devastating. He didn't engage in petty back and forths, he delivered knockout blows. His verses were sharp, precise, reminding rivals of his unparalleled longevity, his business empire, and his lyrical prowess. The message was clear: attempting to usurp the throne would come at a heavy cost, a lesson he was always prepared to teach with undeniable lyrical force. The gauntlet had been thrown. Jay-Z's DOA was a clear shot, a direct challenge to Wayne's artistic choices and his perceived dominance. Wayne, never one to back down, felt the disrespect keenly. This wasn't just about auto-tune, it was about a veteran attempting to gatekeep to diminish the impact of a rising king. The battle lines were drawn, and Wayne prepared his counterattack, ready to unleash a lyrical storm. Wayne's response was swift and unapologetic. He took to the mic, his verses dripping with defiance and a raw hunger for the throne. He directly addressed the perceived slights, asserting his own lyrical prowess and dismissing any notion of being overshadowed. He reminded the world of his prolific output, his street credibility, and his undeniable influence on the new generation. This was a direct challenge to Jay-Z's perceived untouchability. The infamous "It's Good" line sent shockwaves through the industry. Wayne's audacious claim about Beyoncé was a direct personal shot at Jay-Z, a move designed to provoke, to escalate the beef to an unprecedented level. It was a declaration of war, a refusal to play by the established rules of respect. Wayne was willing to cross lines, to go where others wouldn't, in his relentless pursuit of the crown. Wayne's lyrical assault continued, fueled by a desire to prove his supremacy. He saw himself as the embodiment of modern hip-hop, a force that could not be contained by old guards or established hierarchies. His verses were a testament to his raw talent, his fearless attitude, and his unwavering belief in his own destiny as the ultimate king. The beef was personal, and the stakes were astronomical. The impact of Wayne's directness resonated deeply. He had dared to challenge the unchallengeable, to take on a titan with a ferocity that few possessed. The battle was no longer subtle. It was a full-blown war for the throne, fought with lyrical precision and unyielding aggression. Wayne had proven he was willing to go to any lengths to claim his rightful place at the pinnacle of the rap game. The audacity of Wayne's response, particularly the "It's Good" line, was a direct affront to Jay-Z's carefully guarded personal life and his status as a cultural icon. Jay-Z, known for his calculated responses, understood the weight of such a provocation. This wasn't just about rap, it was about respect, about boundaries, and about the ultimate assertion of power. He prepared his counterattack, measured but devastating. Jay-Z's lyrical responses were often subtle, delivered with a quiet confidence that spoke volumes. He didn't engage in the same raw aggression as Wayne. Instead, he used his wit, his experience, and his undeniable track record to assert his dominance. His verses served as a reminder of his longevity, his business empire, and his unparalleled status as a living legend. He was teaching a lesson in power. The competition between Roc Nation and Young Money became another battleground. This wasn't just individual artists, it was a clash of empires, each vying for supremacy in the ever-evolving music industry. Jay-Z, the seasoned businessman, understood that true power extended beyond the mic, into the boardrooms and the deals that shaped careers. He was fighting for his dynasty's future. Jay-Z consistently asserted his position as the elder statesman, the blueprint for success. His responses often carried a tone of paternal correction, reminding Wayne of the path he paved. He emphasized longevity, financial independence, and the ability to transcend the rap game into a global brand. This was a masterclass in maintaining the crown against a hungry challenger. The feud, while intense, also highlighted the mutual respect that existed beneath the surface. Jay-Z acknowledged Wayne's talent, but firmly asserted his own unique place in history. His strategy was to contain the threat, to remind the world who the undisputed king truly was, without descending into prolonged, unproductive lyrical warfare. The battle for the ultimate crown continued. The lyrical war raged on, each verse a calculated strike. Wayne, the relentless wordsmith, continued to push boundaries, asserting his dominance with a ferocity that few could match. He saw himself as the true voice of the streets, the embodiment of raw, untamed talent. His mission was clear: to dismantle any perceived hierarchy and claim his rightful place at the pinnacle. Wayne's ambition knew no bounds. He wasn't content with just being a king, he wanted to be the king, the undisputed sovereign of hip-hop. His relentless output, his genre-bending collaborations, and his unique flow were all weapons in his arsenal. He believed his influence on the new generation was stronger, more immediate than any veteran's long-standing legacy. The personal attacks, particularly the "It's Good" line, were a calculated risk. Wayne understood the shock value, the controversy it would generate. He was willing to push boundaries, to provoke a reaction, to ensure that his challenge to Jay-Z's throne could not be ignored. It was a bold move, a testament to his fearless approach to lyrical warfare. Wayne's lyrical prowess was undeniable. He could out-rap almost anyone, weaving intricate rhymes with a nonchalant swagger. He used his skill to mock, to dismiss, to assert his superiority. He saw himself as the purest form of rap, unburdened by corporate aspirations, driven solely by the love of the craft and the hunger for the top spot. The battle for the throne was a marathon, not a sprint. Wayne knew this. He continued to release music, to tour relentlessly, to maintain his omnipresence in the culture. His strategy was to outwork, to outlast, to eventually wear down any rival who dared to challenge his claim to ultimate kingship. The war was far from over. Jay-Z, the seasoned strategist, understood the long game. He wouldn't be drawn into a prolonged, messy, lyrical brawl. His responses were precise, surgical, designed to remind Wayne of his place in the hierarchy without giving him the satisfaction of a full-blown war. He used his vast experience and his undeniable legacy as his most potent weapons. His lyrical jabs were often delivered with a cool confidence, a subtle dismissal of Wayne's youthful aggression. Jay-Z emphasized his business empire, his cultural impact beyond just music, and his ability to remain relevant for decades. He was teaching a masterclass in longevity and true power, a lesson that transcended mere rap battles. The competition between their respective labels, Roc Nation and Young Money, was a silent war fought in boardrooms and on balance sheets. Jay-Z, the ultimate entrepreneur, understood that the true measure of a king was not just lyrical skill, but the ability to build and sustain a multifaceted empire. He was fighting for economic dominance. Jay-Z consistently asserted his position as the blueprint, the one who paved the way for artists like Wayne to achieve their success. He reminded the world of his pioneering efforts, his groundbreaking deals, and his transition from street hustler to billionaire mogul. This was a subtle but powerful flex, a reminder of his foundational status. The feud, while intense, never fully consumed Jay-Z. He maintained his focus on his family, his businesses, and his broader cultural impact. Wayne's lyrical fire continued to burn. He saw Jay-Z's measured responses as a sign of weakness, a reluctance to fully engage in the raw, street-level warfare that defined his own rise. He believed his relentless output and his directness were proving to be a formidable challenge, chipping away at the elder statesman's seemingly impenetrable armor. The best rapper alive mantra wasn't just a slogan. It was a declaration of war against any perceived rival. Wayne felt his influence on the new generation of artists was unmatched, his style revolutionary. He embodied the future of hip-hop, and he was determined to prove that the old guard needed to step aside for his undeniable reign. Wayne's willingness to cross lines, to include personal jabs, showcased his fearless approach to the battle. He wasn't playing by traditional rules, he was rewriting them. This audacity was a key weapon in his arsenal, designed to rattle his opponent and prove that he was willing to go further to claim the ultimate crown. His lyrical dexterity was a constant reminder of his unparalleled skill. Wayne could out-rap, out-flow, and out-punchline almost anyone. He used this talent to assert his lyrical superiority, making it clear that while others might have business empires, he reigned supreme on the mic, where the true heart of hip-hop resided. The Dynasty War was a testament to Wayne's relentless ambition. He wasn't just fighting for a moment in the spotlight, he was fighting for his place in history, for the right to be called the greatest. His unyielding pursuit of the throne defined this era, pushing both himself and his rival to their absolute lyrical limits. Jay-Z's strategic patience was a masterstroke. He allowed Wayne's initial fury to burn, confident that his own enduring legacy and business acumen would ultimately prevail. He understood that true power wasn't about winning every skirmish, but about controlling the broader narrative and maintaining an unshakable position at the top. His subtle lyrical reminders of his vast wealth and business empire served as powerful, understated disses. Jay-Z didn't need to yell, his billions spoke for themselves. He emphasized that the true king not only dominated the mic, but also built an economic fortress that transcended the fleeting nature of rap beefs. The clash of generations was evident. Jay-Z represented the seasoned veteran, the blueprint. He acknowledged Wayne's talent, but subtly reminded the world of his own foundational role in shaping the genre. His message was clear: respect the architects, for they built the very house you stand in. Jay-Z's ability to remain relevant and influential across decades was a powerful counter to any claims of a new king. He consistently reinvented himself, adapting to new sounds and trends while maintaining his core identity. This longevity was his ultimate weapon, proving that true royalty endures. The Dynasty War ultimately solidified Jay-Z's status as an unshakable force. He weathered the storm, maintained his composure, and continued to expand his empire. His strategic silence, coupled with his undeniable achievements, proved that the crown remained firmly on his head despite the fierce challenge. The lyrical exchanges continued, each verse a testament to Wayne's unwavering belief in his own greatness. He saw himself as the people's champion, the voice of the streets, and he was determined to prove that his raw talent and prolific output were enough to overcome any corporate empire. Wayne's unique flow and unpredictable delivery were his signature weapons. He used them to dismantle, to mock, to assert his lyrical superiority. He believed his artistry was more fluid, more adaptable than the rigid structures of the past, making him an unstoppable force in the modern rap landscape. The beef was a defining chapter in his career, showcasing his fearless attitude and his willingness to take on anyone, regardless of their status. He proved that he was a true competitor, a lyrical warrior who would never back down from a challenge, especially when the throne was at stake. Wayne's influence on the next generation of rappers was undeniable. Many emulated his style, his work ethic, his approach to mixtapes. He was the trendsetter, the one who pushed the boundaries, and he felt this cultural impact gave him a legitimate claim to the ultimate kingship. The Dynasty War was a battle for the soul of hip-hop, a clash between old guard and new wave. Wayne, the embodiment of the new, fought with passion and aggression, believing his era had arrived and that his reign was destined to be the most impactful of all. Jay-Z's response to the ongoing lyrical jabs was often through his continued success and expansion. He demonstrated that true kings don't just rap, they build empires that transcend the music itself, securing a legacy that few can ever hope to match. His lyrical prowess remained sharp, even as he focused on broader business ventures. Jay-Z proved he could still deliver devastating verses when necessary, reminding everyone that his lyrical sword was always ready, even if he preferred to wield it strategically. The longevity of his career, his ability to remain at the top for decades, was his most powerful argument. Jay-Z showed that true kings endure, adapting and evolving rather than fading away. This was a testament to his unparalleled strategic mind. The Dynasty War ultimately served to solidify Jay-Z's legendary status. He faced a formidable challenger and emerged with his crown intact, his empire stronger than ever. It was a testament to his resilience, his business acumen, and his undeniable lyrical skill. The battle for hip-hop's ultimate kingship was fierce, but in the end, Jay-Z's reign continued, a testament to his enduring power and influence. The Dynasty War became a legendary chapter, showcasing the raw ambition of a challenger and the unshakable might of an established king.